To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
One new and notable idea that came out of Donald Trump's speech to Congress March 4th was an American shipbuilding renaissance.
We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon.
A revival of US naval power is essential for restoring deterrence, but it'll require more defense spending and collaboration with US allies.
The Navy remains woefully short of the statutory requirement of 355 ships, the statutory requirement. Just about every major shipbuilding program is behind schedule, over budget, or irreparably off track.
Speaking at recent hearings for Mr. Trump's Navy Secretary, the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Roger Wicker, said that every year the Navy shipbuilding plan promises future growth, then the fleet diminishes.
Ford-class carriers, Virginia-class submarines, Constellation-class frigates, all are behind schedule. In December 2020, the shipbuilding plan said the Navy would grow to 315 ships by 2025. Here we are, and we have only 287 ships.
Then, during another hearing on the same day that Mr. Trump addressed Congress, Mr. Wicker provided much-needed context that underscores the threat.
China possesses a shipbuilding capacity over 230 times that of the United States.
That evening, this from the president.
We will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs.
It's historic. I don't think there's ever been an announcement by the president to establish an office in the White House for the sole focus to look at the shipyard industrial base.
Tax incentives for building ships is definitely a step in the right direction. But since the president likes to go big, why not set some specific goals? For example, committing to build 3 Virginia-class submarines a year over the course of 36 months. These attack submarines, which can lurk undetected and strike rapidly, are America's ace in the hole against an ever-expanding Chinese fleet. But then, that would require the president to show that defense budgets are increasing steadily beyond the $100 billion bump under discussion in Congress as part of this year's reconciliation bill.
The $100 billion in defense spending this resolution unlocks will enable us to begin restoring American deterrence, prioritizing lethality, and ensuring peace through strength.
For such a commitment to shipbuilding, the US would have to pay to attract extremely scarce skilled labor, as well as expand production and maintenance capacity. Private industry won't invest scarce capital if builders and suppliers think the demand for ships is fleeting.
The deepening military cooperation between China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea represents a complex and far-reaching set of threats. These threats demand a generational investment to revitalize America's military strength.
Mr. Trump and his friends are right to worry that China is now the world's shipbuilding powerhouse. But the free world is also a heavyweight if Mr. Trump chooses to team up with US allies such as South Korea and Japan. Both have more shipbuilding and maintenance capacity than the US, and they could also produce at least some parts for US vessels. But not if Mr. Trump insists that every nut, bolt, and screw is made in America.
On the Pacific coast, a new steel mill is completed at the Kaiser shipyard. Mr. Kaiser is the man who builds 10,000-ton Liberty ships in 4 days.
Historian Arthur Herman has chronicled how the US became the arsenal for democracy in World War II, teaming up with the private sector under industrial business magnates William Knudsen and Henry Kaiser.
Knudsen understands that once you set American businesses off in a direction, give them a task to do, give them something that they need to produce here, that they will be able to deliver under those sorts of conditions.
Presidential attention is welcome and overdue, and a serious naval build-up would be a down payment on Mr. Trump's hopes of retiring from office as a peacemaker.
The stakes are high. We face a threat environment more complex than any since World War II. Our naval forces must be ready to operate in highly contested environments, from the Western Pacific to the Atlantic, and from the North Sea to the Red Sea and beyond.